get to this later. Oh, it's too early for this. Mind over matter. Oh. That's not going anywhere. Parking lot sale got me. Another victim. This gold ratchet has been staring at me for years. This gimmicky gold ratchet. And I finally was like, yeah, 40% off in the parking lot sale this weekend? Why not? We got it. 3/8 drive, 24 karat gold, baby. Woo! Just out running some errands this morning in the old Lightning. Had to return a plate compactor that I was using for my walkway project that I'm currently working on. And decided the Lightning's lower than the Super Duty, probably easier to load it in there. But that's not what this video is about. You clicked on the thumbnail, you know it's about a complete interior transformation for my 2002 Ford Lightning. And some of you with a keen eye might have noticed in the last video, there's no passenger seat here. And that's because I took it out weeks ago. So let's get back to the garage, let's talk about what we're doing. We'll jump right into the video, let's go. Happy Saturday! Nothing like spending some money at Harbor Freight on a Saturday morning. I'm trying to sweep. Now I know what you're thinking, Chris, what about B-roll footage of the entire interior with, you know, the 60/40 bench seat as a whole there? Well, you'd be right, and I had some, and I don't know what happened to it. Might have got deleted, but whatever. So here in the meantime is some B-roll footage from when I first got the truck in Florida, and also some pictures that I took of the seat to hopefully make a cool thumbnail of a before and after, but we'll see. But anyways, you guys know what it looks like. It's your standard second-gen Lightning interior, 60/40 split. But now we need to go back in time to 3 or 4 weeks ago when I first started taking the interior apart, which is the same day the Safelite guy came to do the windshield, to drop it off at the upholstery guy's shop, and I'll explain a little bit more there. So, cue Chris from the past. Gotta work smarter, not harder. Yep, you Lightning guys already know what we're doing here, but maybe not everyone's a Lightning guy. Yes, I've always wanted a Lightning, got that, check. Once I got one, I knew I always wanted to do the Expedition center console mod. So obviously these trucks from the factory come with what's called a 60/40 split. This is 60% of the seat, the driver's seat's the other 40. Basically comes with a flip up armrest designed to hold a very small child or third person. Basically useless. Every sport truck, in my opinion, should have a center console and 2 seats. Coupe, if you will. So a common mod back in the 2000s, and I guess still probably popular today, was to do the Expedition center console mod, which, as you can see by the parts here, you basically get an Expedition seat and more importantly, the center console, and replace this center section here. Sounds easy, right? That's what I thought too. But of course, once you look at this up close, the first thing obviously is this seat cover is 1 unit. So it covers 60% of the bench. Whereas obviously a single seat is not quite that large. So something needs to be done with the seat cover here. Also, you've got a seat frame that is, you know, 20% too wide. So long story short, there's a lot of cannibalism you need to do, grabbing parts from the Expedition seat frame, transferring it over, and basically doing a, you know, kind of a swap. And then from the upholstery side, ideally what most guys are doing is they're getting an upholstery guy to kind of cut the seat foam under here, because as I learned after, you know, as I looked further into this swap, seat foam from the Expedition is not as good as the Lightning. See the bolster right here? See how much that comes up because it's a sport truck? Whereas this thing's just kind of a little... So, can't use that seat foam. So basically we want to take the seat pan, take this seat foam, cut it, kind of fold this fabric over, make that look nice, then transfer that over to this seat foam, and then I believe the seat back will bolt right up to the Expedition seat frame. And that's not even getting into the center console, which should be mostly bolted in, but the reason I'm filming this out of order is I'd like to get this dropped off at the upholstery shop, get him working on that, because I don't want to be, you know, waiting on that. I'd rather have that done for when I'm ready to work on the interior of this truck. On the center console side, this is from an 02 Expedition. Shout out to my buddy Josh and Adam. Adam grabbed the center console, I think for 75 bucks, and Josh grabbed the seat, I think for 75 bucks. Obviously out of the same truck. I think it was an 02. I think the 01s and 02s had the wider of the Expedition center consoles, which is nice and more desirable. I think these things actually go for like $400 on eBay. Crazy. So yeah, got a great deal on this. It's got the pad that's eventually going to go on the bottom. Looks like it had a 6-disc changer at one point. These are the brackets that are going to mount to the floor to mount the center console. And then it was missing, this is how it showed up to me. It was missing the cup holder and this mat. Went on eBay, bought this thing, brand new, for $18, and this cup holder insert for another $19. So far I've got $180-ish into this setup here. But yeah, that's the overall idea, is cannibalize the Expedition seat, bring some parts over to the Lightning seat, vice versa, drop it off at the upholstery shop, have him make me custom bottom seat foam and upholstery, and then we can kind of put it all back together. Obviously this is all going to need paint, but we'll get to that once we get back from the upholstery shop. For now, I think I'm going to start cannibalizing the Expedition seat, since most of it's going in the trash and I don't care about it. And we can kind of figure out what we need to do and hopefully get this thing dropped off at the upholstery shop. Let's get to work. Had to move inside because of course it started raining, but we've got seat destruction. Got the Lightning seat back here. This should not need to go to the upholstery shop, so that's gonna stay here. Center console's here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. Keep it around, I don't know. The Lightning seat pan, probably destined for the junk pile. Lightning seat rails, also probably destined for the junk pile. Got the Expedition seat tracks, ready for a quick coat of paint. Over here, ready to go to the upholstery shop, is the seat foam. Basically what we have to do, flip this over, I can show you. Here's the bottom of the seat. Here's the Expedition seat pan, which we're gonna tuck in here, like that. So basically all the upholstery guy needs to do, oh, actually it needs to be over here. Basically all the upholstery guy needs to do is match this kind of bolster section over here, cut the foam, then kind of fold the fabric over, make it look nice, make it look pretty. And then this can bolt right to the Expedition seat track. The Lightning seat can bolt right to the seat back can bolt right to the back of here. And with any luck, we can get it back in the truck. So yeah, I'm gonna go drop this, we'll quickly paint the tracks and the pan, just because, you know, they're got a little surface rust on them. Then let's load everything in the truck, drop it off at the upholstery shop, and hopefully be back with you guys in a few days, a week. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but let's get it done now. Just got the call from the upholstery guy. The seats and the center console lid are done. So let's go get them. All right, well, welcome to present day, at least for me anyways. We are back from the upholstery shop and got everything I need out on this mat to get this Lightning project or interior project rolling. First, you guys have already seen all this stuff from Chris from the past, with the exception of these two. Get into in a second. This is the good stuff right here. Get out of here. This is our completely transformed seat cushion, and there's a whole bunch of write-ups on this online, but no one ever really shows what they did with the seat cushion. They're always like, drop off at the upholstery shop, here's the finished product. No one actually shows what they did, so hopefully this can help someone out in the future. Stuff's a little bit dirty, sorry guys, but basically he took, with my instructions, cut the seat right at the seam, right here, and then re-stitched on the outer seam that would have been on the bench part right there, if that makes any sense. So cut the seat right here, got rid of the flap right there, and then re-stitched on. You can see this little thing is still there. And it looks 100% factory. I'll show you guys better once the driver's seat is out of the truck. This matches perfectly. The driver's seat is not symmetric. It's kind of square where it meets the other bench, and then towards the door, kind of goes out like that. So this is a perfect match to the driver's seat. So happy with how this came out. Little shot under here. He had to basically modify the placement of these hooks. Same thing over here. He left this one a little bit loose just in case I needed some play with where the seatbelt is gonna go. This one's nice and tight. This is our Expedition seat pan and our modified cover here. On this side, this is where our seat back is gonna hook in, which we didn't even touch. And then I think I'm gonna have my seatbelt come up through here. And then our Expedition center console is gonna tuck tight right here. The goal here obviously is at the end of the day, can we make this look like it came from the factory like this? and we're off to a really good start. So that's the seat. Here is the center console lid cover. He actually called me and said, yeah, this lid cover is cracked, but I think I can fix it. So we used some plastic epoxy, reinforced it a little bit, and then put on this nice leather cover. I asked him, do you have anything like this material right here? This lightning material has got like a crisscross, you know, basket weave pattern. He didn't have anything like that, but he did have this perforated, not perforated. I got absolutely murdered in the Cobra interior video for that. So full leather on the top and bottom, perforated on the sides, a perforated black material, which matches pretty close. And then I had him do a double silver stitch, which should match, you know, the silver stitch, or the silver of the seats and all the other silver on the interior of the truck. So it should look super clean when it's on the center console, which obviously is the wrong color. It's tan. So how do we make it gray? Well, folks over at LMR have got us covered with their custom aerosol. This is the medium graphite aerosol, which is your, you know, F-150s and maybe even a couple Mustangs, but double check with them. LMR's got everything you need to, you know, interior, exterior, mechanical, suspension, everything. They got it, but they've got what we need here to get this interior going. So eventually going to spray the console. We'll get to that. Kill mat. You guys know all about that. I'll talk about that in a second. On the inside here, we are basically ready to put the console in and the seat, but I just showed you the kill mat. You know we're not doing that. In a classic case of Chris Sullivan, while we're in here, why not just remove that seat, remove the carpet, clean it, and add some kill mat? At the end of the day, this is a, you know, early 2000s work truck, F-150 basically. Under this carpet, I don't think there's any insulation. And on the trip home from Florida, this truck droned a lot. It's got a lot of, you know, early 2000s problems. The exhaust drone, rattles, stuff like that, which is a two-part problem. One, I think, insulation. Two, exhaust problem, which we'll cover in a later video. But yeah, I'd like to kill mat the entire cab of the truck. So I got this on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. I believe this is the 80 mil stuff. So that should help to quiet down the interior a little bit. And yeah, over here, you guys know I'm a whiteboard guy, but this is a sub whiteboard section, is my portable notebook. Here's what we got for the Lightning interior in no particular order, but you can see we've got the remove carpet and clean and install kill mat. And that's where I'd like to start. We got a lot more to discuss on what to do in this interior, but I don't want to sit here and talk your ear off, so let's get to work. Finish getting this interior completely gutted, start adding some kill mat, we'll go from there. Real quick though, let's just see what we got in this storage tray back here. I haven't really touched a lot of this since I bought the truck. Jumper cables, windshield wiper. I think I showed this. Here's your cell coil. Is that a horn? Okay, does the horn work? Yep. Oh, brand new oil cap. Maybe not brand new, but this has got, okay, this is the original oil cap because I think that one has the breather on it. Another coil that's a completely different shape. There's this fuel line. Huge Allen wrench, paper towel, some sort of Ford separate, okay, this is a tray that goes in here. 7 paper towels. What we got here? Napper. Oh, locking gas cap. Okay. Someone said in a previous video, I think this is the tool to remove the pulley on the Kenny bell. Basically a big old piece of aluminum with 2 little fixtures on it. We'll hang on to that. This is a PCV valve. Rag. Motorcraft. Is this like a starter solenoid? Presto light switch. It's gotta be a starter solenoid, right? Or something? Spark plugs. Iridium. Why is there 7? Oh, there's 8. God, I kind of wish I found these before I spent all that money on spark plugs for this thing. Oh, they're used. At least that one is. Okay, so we can probably trash those if they're used. We'll save them if they're good, but here's 2 other pulleys. I believe the biggest pulley is on there, which is the least amount of boost. Haven't seen how much it is yet, but no sizing. But we got 2 other pulleys if we wanted increased boost. Here's our ancient Diablo Sport tuner with the JLP sticker on it. I haven't even plugged this thing in to see what it does. Maybe we can do that later. Original wheel lock thing, that doesn't do us any good, but it's pretty cool. It's mint condition, we'll keep that with the truck. Oh, and this has got a 6-disc changer. What? Oh, bummer. I was hoping there was some Creed or something in there. With her arms wide open, under the sunlight. Welcome to... Okay, that's enough. Random Harbor. Okay, I think that's it. Do like this storage back here. Okay, now that I've made a big mess, let's get it all out, get to work. What you got over there?
A couple bucks for the strippy.
Well, once again, making a mess, but we are making some progress. So next day here, guys, only had like an hour that I was able to work yesterday before I had some plans. But we did get the interior out and then took the carpet out this morning. Look at how clean it is in here. I mean, not that we would expect anything less for this truck, but immaculate. Look at this, original stickers, skid bolt, whatever that means, tape. I love finding stuff like this. Tested in Mexico, February 20th, 02. All original. Super, super clean. Nothing really too exciting here. Also, a quick note, some of you guys will note this subwoofer or amplifier wire. This was not here, I just put this in. This is actually out of the Cobra, if you guys remember the interior video I did on that. Someone at some point had an amp and or sub in this thing. I saved the wire and decided that while I'm right here, if I ever want to do a sub and an amp, like a small sub, I'm not really an audiophile or bass head, but you know, the stock speakers, 4 of them, from 2002 aren't exactly great. So if we ever wanted to do an amp in place of this 6-disc changer, now we've got our power for the amp and the signal wire, which goes from the radio, tucked it all in here next to the factory wiring, and then I just kind of bunched it up under that foam up there. So if I ever want to do an install, all the hard wiring is already done. I just got to drop in the amplifier, hook up the signal wire to the radio, and we're in business. Over here, got the carpet drying out next to my crabgrass. Lawn used to look good, but this summer was hot. Took its toll on it. Anyways, carpet is looking much better. I mean, it was a clean carpet to begin with, but I basically shampooed the whole thing, used my upholstery cleaner and my drill attachment. There's an area right here, which I need to go to the store and get my favorite carpet cleaner, which I'm out of. I think it's called like Tough Stuff or something, but this is under a floor mat, what's gonna be a brand new floor mat anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, but overall, much better. So that's drying out. So up next is, of course, the kill mat, which I've never applied this stuff before, but I think it's fairly straightforward. Just peel the backing off, roll it on with one of those rollers they got right there. And yeah, just cover as much of the interior as we can. I'm gonna try and go up the back here too, if I can. Really wish I did like a sound test beforehand, like a decibel meter inside the truck, but whatever. We know it's gonna be better. We're right here. I'll leave the link to the kill mat in the description. I think it was fairly cheap, like 30, 50 bucks maybe, I don't know. Again, while you're here, you might as well dynamat the interior. Ford didn't really care about, you know, sound quality and how loud the interior was, where if you took this car apart, even though it doesn't run right now, or run right anyways, there'd be sound deadening everywhere. Ford and GM in the mid 2000s, no way. So might as well add it while you're there. And then we can get into this center console, which I've got out here, and I got the top part removed. We are gonna have to break this thing down for paint. I think I'm gonna do the top in black, kind of drive some contrast. It'll be black and silver, just like the rest of the interior. This one also came with a 6-disc changer, and got the correct mats and stuff in there for the storage area, the mounting brackets. Can probably get rid of some of this wiring. It's got the rear climate control, which obviously the back of the cab is going to be right here, so we might even be able to get rid of that, but we'll see. Still got a ways to go before we get to this. Also, quick note, took this plug out from right here in the passenger seat. This is where the seat hole would go, or thread for the bolt would go if you were in an Expedition or something with a bucket seat right here. You can see the floor pan is probably exactly the same as the Expedition. So you just take this plug out. Same thing for the center console. It looks like we got a plug there and a plug there. Pull this out. And that is where the brackets that I have will bolt in, so the center console can go right here. So it's all there. Just got to take these factory plugs out, run the bolts in, and we're good to go. But yeah, let's keep the progress rolling, get some of this kill mat down, and just go from there. More progress. Pretty satisfying project installing this kill mat stuff. As you can see, I got the entire cab done all the way up the back side of the cab here, the entire floor. Looks awesome, went on easy, just peel, stick, and roll it. Just kind of cut around your bolt holes and, you know, lift up your wires, go under that. No echoes in here, not too bad. So like I said, I wish I did a little before and after, but for the price I paid, I think you'd be kind of dumb not to do this while you're in there. Really wish I did it on the Camaro, but next time that interior is out, we'll do that. But yeah, this is basically ready for carpet to go back in. Looks awesome, which is still drying over there. But in the meantime, I've blown apart the center console here so we can get it ready for paint. Still might be able to take a lot of this wiring out, we'll see, but all the panels are blown off, so we can convert this from tan to gray. So the side panels, the top, like I said, I'm going to do the top in black. And here's the materials we're going to use. Because this is plastic, we're going to want to use some adhesion promoter. Then this is the medium graphite from LMR, so then we'll go with that for the sides. And then on the top, this is basically just a trim black, satin black, matte black. Same stuff I did the bottom of the Cobra bumper there, which came out awesome. Of course, we're going to have to fully degrease, might give these a quick scuff, and then we can shoot them with some paint. Not as good of a day for paint as yesterday was. It's cloudy and pretty humid, but hey, we're going to get it done. Quick note on the center console, starting in the back actually, this thing had not only the rear climate control for those that were sitting in the rear, but also cup holders, luxury. Not that we're going to see any of this back here, so we're just going to quickly paint it and be good to go. Might even just leave this open or stick that thing back in there just to hold the space. But up front here, this truck also had, this Expedition also had the front center, or the front climate controls. So what are we going to use in this space here? What are we going to fill this with? I bought a piece of ABS plastic on Amazon for like $8. I think I'm going to cut it to shape, put it back there on the textured side, and then I figured this is my fuel pressure gauge that is currently mounted on the steering column there, which is okay, but you know, I never really love it. Completely blocks the odometer and like half of the speedometer, so I don't hate it, but I've never really loved it. I think if possible, this is a perfect time to move this down here. Look at this, boom, perfect. Put that there, and then also on Amazon I said, okay, what am I gonna, you know, fill the other side with? I could always do another gauge, but I thought this would be cool. Little voltmeter, and then also charge your phone or USB devices. So we'll have, you know, charging / voltmeter and fuel pressure down here. Should be a nice clean install for a couple bucks basically. That's my plan. I think this stuff is ready for prep and paint, so while the carpet's drying, let's get on that and get this center console ready to go back in the truck. Oh, why is everything always so messy? Anyways, welcome to the backup paint booth. Primary paint booth being outside in nature, and the backup paint booth being inside next to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cars with just some painter's plastic thrown up. The reason I'm in here is we're making progress, so that's good, but I did run into a little hiccup with the paint. As mentioned, got the center console completely blown apart and cleaned, degreased, tack clothed, adhesion promoted, and then painted. And unfortunately, I don't know if I got a bad batch of the LMR paint or something, or what's going on, but as you guys could see in the B-roll footage, and I'll put up again right now, I could not get a good finish. It was like splotchy and cloudy. I tried putting it on light, I tried putting it on heavy. I started outside and I was like, okay, maybe it's too humid out here. So I came into the garage, got the AC on, got the humidity down to like 60%. Still splotchy finish. So I don't know, maybe I got a bad batch. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but this is not a dig against LMR. These guys have helped me so much with not only this build, but the Cobra build. Their customer service is second to none. I cannot say enough good things about LMR. It's possible I'm doing something wrong. It's possible I got a bad batch. I'm sure that they would make it right, but I want to get this done tonight. So I ran out to O'Reilly's and got this Duplicolor vinyl and fabric. The color is medium gray, and I have had much better results. This looks like this thing came from the factory gray. And I took apart the door, the passenger side door. This is the factory gray right here. You know, albeit it's a little bit dirty, but look at that. Basically a perfect match, as close as you're gonna get. And a nice even finish, looks really good. No longer do we have a tan center console. Also did the center cup holder part with that satin black trim paint. That thing came out perfect. It looks like it was, you know, molded and dyed in that black color. It looks awesome. Between coats, I extended the wiring under the dash and added an add-a-fuse circuit to, I think, the seat heaters or something, which this truck doesn't have, so that now I can get that 12-volt power thing. So my wiring is good to go to move the fuel pressure gauge and my voltage gauge slash charging port over to the center console, so that's good to go. While I have the paint booth set up, I figured I would also grab the passenger side door panel, which I've shown in the B-roll footage, but I don't think I've talked about yet, which has severe sun damage from sitting in the Florida sun for God knows how many years. I think the truck was probably parked in a way that the sun came through the driver's side or the windshield and came down, and look at this. You can see what happened. Clearly the seat up against the door panel, you know, shielded it and shaded that area. So that's what it's supposed to look like, and then everything else just got completely smoked. So I'm gonna repaint this as well. I think I'm gonna have to mask off this area. We're gonna do the same thing, quick degrease, scuff, and then probably some adhesion promoter, and then we'll get that thing painted up. We can't have that looking like this. Carpet is just about dry. I wish it was sunny today, but looking really nice. Like I said, once it's in the truck, we'll see how visible these areas are. Might have to do a little bit more spot treatment there, but other than that, real nice, real clean, original carpet. I know it looks bad right now, but we're real close to reassembly and getting everything back together. So let's keep the progress rolling here. Let's get to work on that door panel, and we can start reassembling the center console, get our gauge in there, get our charging port in there, just start putting the interior back together. Let's get to work. Good afternoon. It is a beautiful August Friday afternoon, and it's been a couple days since we did an update on the Lightning. Busy week as usual, but let's go through what we got done. First of all, boom, right off the bat, look at this center console. This thing turned out better than I could have ever expected. Compared to how we started, this thing is now the right color, looks awesome, got a brand new lid on here, and it's just everything that I had envisioned for this console. Let's start, obviously, it's all back together, the correct color. Paint came out good. I will say I did have some of the striping and zebra problems with the Duplicolor paint that I had with the LMR paint. So maybe it was, you know, painting conditions or something. I don't know. It was slightly better with Duplicolor, but I don't know. Just tough to lay down. But eventually got it right. Whole center console looks like it was never tan. Looks like it came from the factory like this, which of course, if you know me, is exactly how I like it. Black part up here came out incredible. Made my custom plate here to mount my fuel pressure gauge and my new voltmeter. Was going to use epoxy to secure it to the back, but was afraid it might ooze out around the edges, so I used some 3M double-sided tape all the way around. That thing is solid. Also, you guys will notice I have changed the bezel here to the color silver, and that's because I think that it pops better, and I mean, I could not be happier. I'm so glad I took the time to do so, which on the new autometer gauges is easy. You can just unscrew the black bezel and screw on the usually included silver bezel, but this is an older one. The bezel doesn't come off, so I had to painstakingly mask this thing off and paint it, but boy, am I glad I did. That just looks incredible. Cleaned up the gauge. I mean, really, to me, looks factory. Even hit the plate, came gloss black. I hit it with some of that satin black paint, same thing as up here, to take down that reflective, shiny finish a little bit. It really does almost look factory. Love that. So this thing is ready to go in. Got my beautiful center console lid on here. Opens up. It does rub just slightly back here. I might have to try and space this out a little bit, but not too bad. Good to go. Cleaned up this whole center console. Still got some extra stuff in here, but we'll get that out later. This thing is good to go. Man, I swear the pollen is coming back. This thing is covered in like dust and pollen. Needs a bath. We'll get there sometime. Anyways, the carpet is back in. Looks really good. Got my spare tire thing there ready to go. More importantly, you guys saw that I tapped the holes. These holes were plugged because obviously this truck came with the 60-40 split seat, which mounted here and here. So to mount the center console, I had to tap these holes. They were existing, you just had to tap them. They had the plugs in them. And then this hole right here for the seat, or actually these two. So these 4 holes basically were existing. They just had to be tapped. That's all done. So our center console is ready to go in. Also, I mentioned this way back in the Florida video. My cup holder up here was broken. It goes in and doesn't come back out. I looked it up online. Really common issue. The spring back mechanism just falls off the back here. So I think I'm going to quickly epoxy that back into place, and then we should have, you know, a working spring cup holder here up on the dash. So that's done. Over here, our seats are just about done. I'm ready to reattach my seat back to the seat pan and also attach the seat rails to the seat pan for the passenger seat. And then hopefully we can get this all back together. But before I do that, while it's right here in my face, I'd like to give these seats a quick cleanup, and that's going to involve 2 things. One, you guys know I did the same thing with the Cobra because these suede seats are known for doing this pilling that happens in the high wear areas. So you guessed it, I'm going to use the tools I used last time, which is a razor blade, some sandpaper. I think this is like 800 and 1500. I actually already did this area right here. Look at the difference between right here and right here, just with like 2 minutes of work. So we're gonna scrape and sand all this down, get rid of all the pilling. And then I think that this is just like dirt. So I'd like to try and clean the suede in the areas that have dirt. And in order to test it, to figure out what's gonna work and what's not gonna harm the suede, I used the old center console, which I'll put up a before picture of right now. And I just did a quick scrub with this, light brush, and then vacuumed it all out with my upholstery cleaner. And look at this thing. Looks brand new. So I think in some of the more dirty areas, like the driver's seat right here in the middle, it's got 20 years of, you know, dirty pants and farts probably in here. Good stuff. So we'll see if we can shampoo some of this out, make these seats look as brand new as possible before they go in the truck. So yeah, still plenty to do, and I'm hoping with any luck I can wrap this project up today and call this interior done. I can't wait to drive this truck again and see this transformed interior, so let's get to work. After all that work, we finally have a center console in my Lightning. And gauges work. Press this button here. Boom. Voltage. Turn it off. Charge your devices. Looks sick. Love it. All right, that's done. Seats are drying. They came out really good. Now, let's talk about that surprise. You guys made it this far. This is something I'm really excited about that showed up weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, and I've been waiting to do this. So let's get it unboxed. Check it out. I mean, you guys know I wasn't gonna put that boring ass steering wheel back in there, but holy crap, look at this thing. This is gonna be the nicest part of the truck right here. Look at this absolute masterpiece. We got a flat bottom carbon steering wheel from Tim Beith at beithperformanceparts.com or Beith Performance on Instagram. Look, I had him do the carbon on the top and bottom, perforated leather on the sides with a silver double diamond stitch or whatever you want to call that. It looks absolutely incredible. This looks just as nice as the OEM wheel in my Z06. That is how good the quality looks on this thing. I've never had a steering wheel this high quality. This is unbelievable. This is my first carbon steering wheel. I don't even know how this guy makes this thing. It's an absolute masterpiece. Feels incredible. Thumb grips, extra thick, looks awesome. We were kind of going back and forth. I was like, what else could we do in carbon to kind of tie it together? He was like, let me try and do a radio surround or bezel, and look at this thing. Absolutely incredible. Look at that weave. Look at the gloss. Unreal. Again, huge shout out to Beith Performance Parts. Of course, the link will be in the description. He does wheels for everything. Mustangs, Camaros, Challengers, Corvettes, anything. Anything you can think of, he can probably do it. Trim pieces like that. Bring your ride into the 21st century. Hit him up. Huge shout out to Tim. Thanks again, man. And then of course, you know I couldn't have a brand new wheel with those broken cruise control buttons. I'm also hoping this fixes my cruise control, but yeah, we'll get that in there as well. So let's get that old wheel out, get that beautiful new wheel, radio surround in, get that fixed cup holder in, which is drying out in the sun right now, get those seats back in, and holy crap, we are almost done with this project. And I cannot wait to see it all finished. So let's get back to work. Bring this thing through the finish line. Oh my God, what a project. This video's gotta be an hour long at this point. Oh yeah, looks sick. See you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. As usual, yesterday finished a little bit later than I wanted to. As you guys saw, we ran out of daylight. A couple things fought me, but thankfully I got a new work light from Hyperlite. These guys make those really popular hexagon lights that go in your garage. They make outdoor work lights, they make indoor work lights. And I always seem to have the problem of running out of daylight, so I said, hey, do you guys have an outdoor work light, LED kind of thing? And they were like, yep, we got you. So they sent me this one that's got, you know, pivoting heads and these two super bright LED pods, and it's got an adjustable stand, and it's just exactly what I need for not only working on cars and trucks, but any project outside around the house. So super glad that I have that. Got the truck basically finished up. The interior looks so sick. I can't wait to show you guys, but I've got like 2 things left to do before we can call it completely done. One is put on these new floor mats that of course I got from LMR. You guys know I'm a big floor mat guy. I feel like it's the finishing touch on any interior. The truck had like lightning floor mats before. They're actually over there, but they were, let me just get it. So they say lightning, but they're the wrong color, obviously, and they've got like some fading and staining and stuff like that. So I'm gonna save those for like when I'm doing actual work with the truck, if I ever do. But these are the same brand, I believe. So LMR sells them for ACC Auto Custom Carpets. Same ones I put in the Cobra. Shoo! Look at that. Official Ford licensed product. It's the right color for the carpet. Got the lightning in there. That's the passenger one. This is the driver one. get these in. I want to give the interior a final wipe down. I can show you guys that sick Beith Performance flat bottom carbon steering wheel that's in there, which was kind of a pain to install because Ford had to be difficult, and the only way to remove that steering wheel was to use a 2-jaw puller. I have a full steering wheel puller kit that is only for pulling steering wheels, and it would not work on that wheel. I tried a 3-jaw puller, it started pulling sideways and messing up the threads, so finally said screw it. My wife was kind enough to go out while she's out doing some other errands, pick me up a set of 2-jaw pullers so I can get the wheel off. The Beith Performance center console thing fit really well, but my aftermarket radio installation was never really right because I was kind of rushing when I did it in Florida. So I had to do some trimming around the edges to get that thing to fit because the carbon was super tight around the edges of the radio, but got that all sorted out. But that's why it took so long yesterday, and we worked into the night because it seemed like everything was fighting me, but it's worth it. Trust me, the interior is everything I'd hoped for and so much more. So let's get these mats in, give the interior a quick wipe down, and then at some point I can deal with this garage. It looks like a bomb went off. My tools are everywhere. But that's a me problem, not a you problem. So let's get this truck done, call this project done. Oh yeah, I also fixed that cup holder. Floor mats are about to go in, steering wheel and bezels done, and we clean the seats. Install seat and center console. Everything on the short list is done. Interior, done. Woo! Look at all these leftovers. Seat parts, seat brackets, seat belts, the bezel, this thing that goes for the gauge, 6-disc changer, wiring. That's not even showing the seat frame and stuff that I took to the dump a week ago. Lots of extra parts. All right, first time in the driver's seat. Oh, this is it. Oh, I'm in love. Well, it's finally done. What a project this was, but my Lightning interior is finally 100% done, and I am over the moon about how awesome it came out. Where do we start since the last update? Let's start with this wheel from Beith Performance. Looks so sweet. Nothing too crazy over the top, but you know, feels awesome. A little bit of carbon on top and bottom with the flat bottom, just enough to let you peek in and know that something's going on. The radio bezel really ties it in, so it's not the only carbon thing in the interior. And just this look right here, guys. This is, you know, maybe the steering wheel is a little bit out of the realm of possibility for what I'm about to say, but this right here, this is what I wanted. I want someone to be able to see this thing at Cars and Coffee that maybe is not, you know, doesn't know second-gen Lightnings as well as the next guy and comes in here and says, huh, I didn't know that they offered second-gen Lightnings with a center console. That OEM Plus look looks good enough that it could have come from the factory like that. The gray and black with the black lid with the gray stitching, it all ties together and, you know, really looks like it could have come from the factory like this. That was the goal, and we freaking nailed it. Gave the interior a whole wipe down. The seats came out incredible. If you guys remember all the pilling and you know, dirty, disgusting that was, the seats actually weren't bad, but they did clean up really well. I haven't even conditioned, you know, the leather parts in the center or anything yet. That was just a quick, you know, quick and dirty cleanup and removing of the pilling for the video. Door panels all fixed, looks so good. Everything over here is just like, look, 2 seats, exactly how a sport truck should have come right from Ford. You peek in the window here or whatever, you see the center console. The gauge down there even could be factory. You guys remember the Marauders? Those like 03, 04 Mercury Marauders that from the factory had the autometer gauges down by the shifter? I'm telling you, this could have been factory. This is how Ford should have done it. back in 99 to 04. Oh man, I'm just speechless, you guys. This was a lot of work, but man, did it come out good. LMR floor mats, the cherry on top, they look awesome. Really, really ties everything all together. I think I tried to show it last night. I'm not sure how well it came out, but also when you turn the lights on, you know, you got that light green SVT glow. It continues down here. It just all really ties together. The steering wheel feels amazing. We just got an awesome cockpit here now, guys, with the 4 cup holders ready to go. A little bit more storage right here. Charge your phone right here. Fixed my cup holder, so now I have 4 functioning cup holders right here. Also, I'm so glad that I put this little delete plate in the back HVAC there, because you definitely would have seen that getting into the truck. You would have seen the red and blue, you know, blends indicator there, and you probably would have seen the handles or knobs as well. So that was well worth the effort. Tons of storage in here now. Got that mat down there still. Got our original cup holder things in there. Well, I'm probably rambling, but if you can't already tell, I'm psyched about how this came out. This was a long video, you guys, but we knocked out the entire interior on this thing. Every single thing is done except for 2 little details. First one, I think I've mentioned this in previous videos. I wanted to take this boost gauge apart to like flip this needle so I can get it to be a not faded orange. You see the difference between those two. But again, as I learned over here, you can't take this apart, so it might get a new boost gauge. And these seatbelt buckles are now kind of a sore thumb because they're faded. And I don't know a good way to restore these. I tried using the old heat method over here and basically lit it on fire, made it worse. So I'm wondering if I can just buy new buckles here so that these will be a nice bright red. Other than that, this interior is 100% done. I wouldn't change a single thing, which was the goal of this video, is to knock out the entire interior in one video, which is why this video is probably over an hour long. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. All that good stuff. I hope to see you in the next one. We got lots more lightning content coming, more Cobra content, more of this guy, which all you guys are asking for, and everything else. Oops, even got that out of the garage. Catch you in the next one.